All right, what's up, YouTube? This is BoxingWave, and let's talk Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo. Okay, now Andrade was recently ordered by the WBO, all right, because he holds a title there at 160, and Jermall Charlo is currently holding the WBC title at 160. Okay, Andrade was recently ordered by the WBO to fight his mandatory, Stephen Butler. Okay, who's Stephen Butler? I don't know. I looked him up. There's not much there. Okay, this is not a guy that's anywhere near Andrade's level. Am I mad that the fight is not going to happen now? No, all right, because Butler decided instead of fighting for the title against Andrade, he's gonna go and fight Ryota Murata in Japan because there's more money. It's a better opportunity for him. All right, whatever. I didn't want to see the fight anyway. Murata just recently avenged his loss to Rob Brandt by knocking him out in the second round. And now those two are they're set to fight in December. Whatever. Cool. Now Andre doesn't have an opponent at this time. And then you have Jermall Charlo, who recently, that was announced recently that he's going to be fighting 154 pounder Dennis Hogan, okay, in his next fight. Dennis Hogan, better fighter than Stephen Butler, in my opinion, even though he's at 154. Recently got into a tough fight with Jaime Magia, and a fight that actually not really that tough. I actually thought he clearly won the fight, but I thought he was robbed of the decision, out in Mexico, and he's going to be fighting Jermall Charlo now. Now, look, I made this video because I really just don't understand. How did we let this fight between Charlo and Andrade escape us? Okay, going back to 154, Andrade being at the post-fight press conferences and stuff like that, calling the Charlos out, all these run-ins they had, the back and forth they had. How did we let this escape us? I mean, it's to a point where no one even talks about it anymore. You know? How did that happen? I mean, they're both holding titles at 160. They want the Triple G fight. They want the Canelo fight, but they're not getting either fight. Yet they're still not fighting each other. And they're not even really calling each other out at this point. And this is not no biased video. Like, I'm a big supporter of the Charlo twins. Those are my guys. And I like Andrade. I just want to see the fight. That's all. I want to see a fight. Don't get mad at me for wanting to see the fight. I want to see the fight. There's bad blood there. And it's like, look, you got Deverenchenko, right? Who recently, he's a PBC fighter at 160, right? Who's recently fought Daniel Jacobs on HBO and then goes on to fight Triple G on dazn. This is a PBC fighter. How in the world, why in the world are we not getting Charlo versus Andrade? And I don't feel, outside of a couple of channels, shout out to IBFP, because he made a video about this. Not really about this, but he made a video about Canelo and Andrade and whether Canelo was stuck at Andrade. But let's talk about Jermall Charlo and Andrade. I mean, you dudes went back and forth, traded words with each other. I mean, I saw Andrade do an 18-minute interview the other day on, was it on Seconds Out or one of the media channels. And he didn't even bring up Jermall Charlo. He's still talking about Billy Joe Saunders, which is a tough fight. But my thing is, Billy Joe Saunders officially ducked you. You guys were scheduled to fight, right? He popped on illegal substances, right? Popped, went up to 168, and now he's fighting two people that no one cares about. That's an official duck. Okay? So now that that's out of the way, you still have Jermall Charlo right here. I mean, Andrade didn't even fight Lara at 154. You didn't fight the Charlo twins, and you didn't fight Lara. Because Lara, you and Lara had back and forth too. All right? He beat you in the amateurs. You wanted to I thought at one point that you wanted to fight him. We never got that fight. And look, I've said countless times, I want Canelo to fight Andrade. I really want that fight. But in the meantime, there's still other options out there. And the fact that Jermall Charlo can go and fight a Dennis Hogan or an Andrade can go and fight a Stephen Butler, because you got to take care of these mandatories. You know how I feel about these mandatories, right? These real tough mandatories. Just bullshit. These mandatories is just getting in the way of what we really want to see. You know, but we're not getting that mandatory now. So I just don't understand, guys. Like, where are we going with this? Where are we going? You know, because if Triple G goes on to fight Derenchenko, which is a good fight. It's a good fight. And I said this maybe a couple months back. I said, listen, Triple G should fight Derenchenko, and Charlo and Andre should fight each other. And the winner of those fights, maybe Canelo could fight one of the winners of both of those fights, maybe by next May. You know? Like, come on, man. Like, why are we not getting this fight? And why is there not enough noise being made about these two fighting each other? Like, whatever happened to that? Now, Andre and Jacobs, all right, these guys are good friends. They're like brothers. They don't want to fight each other. Whatever, you know? There's other people. There's other people out there. But even Jacobs didn't fight Charlo. Like, whatever happened with that? Whatever happened to them running into each other? What is happening with these potential fights, the buildup of these fights, and nothing happening? You know, now I don't know if Jacobs is going to go up to 168. I ran into him and he told me he's drained. He's having trouble making 160. Cool, go up to 168. But there's fights out there, and for Jermall, there's other fights to be made out there. And it's not like these fights can't be made. I mean, PBC is working with these guys. You know? So why isn't Jermall Charlo getting in the ring with Andrade and unifying? Because if they unify those titles, the winner would have a bigger case on why they should be a opponent for Canelo or opponent for Triple G. Triple G has a belt again now. He has a title. So if Triple G doesn't get Canelo next, if Canelo is to be Sergey Kovalev or whatever, if Canelo could bounce around, he could be at 160, he could be at 168, he could be at 175. We don't know what Canelo's going to do. You can't depend on Canelo. Canelo chooses you. But if he doesn't fight Triple G for a third time, if we don't get that fight, at least either Jermall Charlo or Andrade would be unified. One of them would be a unified champion, depending on who wins, if there isn't a draw. I don't understand why we haven't gotten that fight. And I don't understand why not enough people are talking about it. I've spoken about it before on this channel. I want those two dudes to fight each other. Why are we not getting that fight? What is going on? This is why I say about Bud and Crawford. This is why I kept making videos about those two. Because I don't want us fans to just forget about it and just settle with not getting that fight. Now, we know we're going to get the fight, but what if we don't? You know, what if Spence really does move up to 154 and never fights Bud? You know, let's just say, I know things has come out since the accident that, Spence wants to fight Bud now. I don't know if all of that is true. It could be true. But what I'm trying to say is, let's not forget about these fights. Like, these are fights that could be on and popping right now. Let's get those fights, man. And there's bad blood between these two, and it's a great stylistic matchup. The two of them are still undefeated. They both hold titles. And neither one of them are saying anything about the other ones. They're just going on their own way. And it's like, are you guys ducking each other? Like, what's going on? I thought you guys wanted to fight each other at 54. Andre finally got his thing together. He's left his previous promoter. He's with Eddie Hearn now. He's getting fights. He's staying active. He's a champion now. He should be able to get a fight going on with Jermall Charlo. And neither one of them is a superstar. You know, it's not like one is too big to fight the other. No, people are talking about them. They are relevant. They might not be superstars, but I mean, if it's not 50-50, I mean, I personally don't think there's really any A side in that fight. I think that's a fight that just could be made. It could just happen. And if there is a negotiation issue, it should be like a 55-45 thing. You know, I don't think it's neither one of them are too big for each other. I don't think either one, like, they should just be fighting each other. You guys both hold titles. You guys don't have a Canelo fight schedule. You don't have a Triple G fight schedule. So fight each other. Do it. What is the problem? Why Dennis Hogan? Why Stephen Butler? Why? Why are we getting those fights? We don't need those fights. Selesky was a good fighter. Trust me, that was a good name on Andrade's belt. One of his better opponents. Yes, but Charlo was right there with a title. You should be fighting him. Billy Joe screwed up. He went up in weight. He doesn't want to fight you. You know, he doesn't want to fight you. The fight would have been made if he did. If Billy Joe really wanted to fight Andrade, he would have did this. He fell. He went up. He like, listen, I can't make 160 anymore, but I'll fight you at 168. You know, and now that he's with Hearn, it can happen. Like, the fight still could be made. And Andrade said himself that he wouldn't mind going up to 168 to fight Billy Joe. But both of these guys need a real name on their resume. And I wouldn't mind seeing Charlo fight a Julia J. Rock Williams for a rematch. You know, I know that's been talked about recently, and some of the guys at 54. But you moved up to 160, and Andre's right there, and he's chilling. You don't got nothing going on. You guys should be fighting each other, man. Point blank, period. There should be no excuses. It's not like the fight can't be made. You know? There's other fights that we can get. You know, Deverenchenko, Triple G is probably not going to fight him in a rematch. So, you know, maybe Charlo should fight Deverenchenko. I mean, he's over there in the PBC. You know, or maybe Andrade could fight him. Who knows? But I want to see Charlo and Andrade. I want to see that fight. And no one's really talking about it. And I feel like if no one's talking about it, they'll just gloss over that fight. And if neither one of them calls the other boxer out, everybody will forget that these guys had beef. And I don't want that to happen. How are we letting this fight slip through the cracks? We shouldn't let that one slide. You guys were talking that talk. Let's not let that one slide. I want to see these two fight. And I also want to see Jacobs and Charlo fight too. Like, I don't want to see this just like, everybody just forgets it and then that's it. But I really want to see Andrade. I want to see Andrade and Charlo more than any of them because they both are holding titles. They're both undefeated. All right. And I would love to do a breakdown of that fight one day. I would just love to do it. I would go to that fight. I mean, they both fight in New York. I would definitely pay for a good ticket to go to that fight. Without a doubt, I'm in the building if they decide to fight. I am going to that fight. Charlo and Andrade fight, I am there. You know, this is a fight I wanted to see back at 54. So I would definitely want to see it now at 160 while they're still undefeated. And more channels, get out of your biases, bring this fight up all the time. Because this is a fight that should have went down already. Andrade should have, and I'm not putting blame to neither one of them because they both have done things, you know, I mean, I put more blame on Andrade at 54 because he had issues down there. All right, he didn't fight anyone that I really wanted to see him fight. He didn't fight anyone, you know, and then he had that long gap and then he didn't, you know, all these deals he turned down. You had the Rock Nation nonsense. You had the Showtime deals. You had all this stuff. The promoter, him getting stripped of the WBO title, blah, blah, blah. Where Charlo twins were doing their thing. They were fighting people at 54. You know what I mean? They wanted Canelo, but they were still at least fighting good fighters at 154, you know? But at 160, neither one of them is really doing anything, and neither one of them has faced anyone that we want to see them face. So it's like, what's going on, guys? Like, yo, you guys are like right there. Like, you're like standing around the corner from right from each other. And don't tell me the fight can't be made because of politics, because it should be going down. These guys do business together all the time. All right, so let me know what you guys think in the comments, man, because this is a fight that I really want to talk about and I really want to see. And I feel like we should get this fight going. If Canelo, I know everybody's waiting for Canelo. I know everybody, but Canelo is just not going to fight you guys. And if he's going up in two divisions to fight a Kovalev and not asking for a catch weight, there's not much you can really say. There's nothing you can really say. He could do whatever he wants. So let's stop waiting for the Canelo lottery, because Canelo's looking at you guys like, yo, I'm not going to fight neither one of you. You guys are not even fighting nobody. You know, and it's like Triple G, it's same thing. He's not going to fight you. You know, I really don't think Triple G is going to fight either one of you guys. He does not want to fight you guys. You know, so let's not keep repeating, oh, Canelo or Triple G is ducking you two. Well, you know, you two can actually unify. So you have a great argument at that point. You guys hold two titles. If one of them, Triple G holds one and Canelo holds one, or well, he doesn't hold one, but whatever case, at least you bring something to the table. You bring a name to the table. You know, whether Andrade wins or Charlo wins, you bring a name to the table and you have two titles at 160. So you bring something to the table. And plus you'll still be undefeated. And there's a demand for these fights. You know, I've done voting polls, you know. People want to see this fight. All right? So I just wanted to make a video real quick about that, man, because it's really, really bothering me, and I don't want to forget. And I feel like the fans and the YouTube community, the media, it's like everyone's forgetting about it. And I'm like, man, what's going on here? I see these guys doing interviews, and they're not even bringing each other up anymore, you know? And it's like, damn, what happened? How did we let this one slip right by us, you know? All right, that's done. I'm done with my little rant. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys subscribe, all right? Peace.